now. So just be, again, be cognizant that you're being recorded. So thank you very much for coming this evening. Again, sorry about the technical delays. I'm a humanities professor. Technology is not always my friend, but we're here this evening to talk about roundtables. So I assume that you're all here for that, that your papers were accepted for the NRHC for roundtables, and we'll discuss that for a little bit. This won't take too long, and then Dr. Tasto and I will riff off each other about things that you might need to know, not only about the roundtables, but about attending NRHC in New Haven, which we're really excited about as well. And then we'll open it up for any questions that you might have going from there. So I'll introduce myself first, then I'll have Dr. Tasto introduce himself, and then we'll start talking just a little bit about roundtables, and we'll go from there. So my name is Andrew Martino, and I'm a professor of English at Salisbury University for 8 years, from 2018 to just about 3 weeks ago. I was dean of the Clark Honors College. I've been involved in honors for about 20 years, both at the national level and the regional level. I am the incoming president of NRHC, which is the second time that I've done that. The last time was actually 10 years ago exactly. And I like the regional conferences a lot because, first of all, they're a lot less expensive than the national conferences, but second of all, they're mostly student oriented. So the national level conferences, as great as they are, they're really about professional development for faculty and deans and program directors. What we try to do at the regional level is really highlight your work and your research and make that a part of the conference. We work insidious text on Friday. We have a couple of great speakers that come, and it really is beyond you getting to a chance to present your research. It's really about networking. Get to know the other people in the region, the other students, get to know some of the professors in the region. All of this you should be putting on your LinkedIn page if you have LinkedIn. If you don't, this is something you might want to think about. You never know who you're going to meet that will help you get a job later on. So you want to make sure that you're giving yourself that benefit there. I think you're going to really like New Haven. This is a great group of people to work with. And with that, I'll have Dr. Tasto introduce himself.
Thank you very much. Hey guys, thank you for coming tonight. I've been the treasurer for the NRHC for the last 7 years. I'm a professor of economics at Southern New Hampshire University. I was the interim dean for a couple of years, chair for like 8 years, a whole bunch of different positions. But it's been an honor being part of the NRHC. I think you guys are gonna have an amazing time. Students love our conference because it's student centered and yeah.
All right.
What kind of questions you guys have for us that we
So
can
let me
help you
let me
with?
just I'll go through it really quickly. Dr. Tasso, if I miss something, just jump in if that's okay with you. I've had like 4 espressos in the last hour, so I'm raring to go here. So let me just tell you a little bit about what the roundtables are like. So the roundtables, there are 3 ways to present your research, mostly at any conference, but certainly at the NRHC. There's the oral presentation where you have a lot of time and you're usually on a panel of 3 or 4 students. And then there's the poster presentation, and then there's the roundtable presentations. So with roundtables, what it is you'll be sitting at a table, and there'll be a lot of other tables in a room. And you get to present your research really in a smaller period of time than, say, an oral research, right? So you only have 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes to present your research. You want to give just an overview of what it is you're working on, whether it's your research question or your thesis. I use those two terms interchangeably. Why you did that, what kind of evidence you found, what you used, anything like that, where you're talking about your research. Think of it as if you're giving a kind of elevator speech about what your research is. Why are you doing it? Why are you interested in it? And things like that. And then we open it up for questions with people at the table. So it truly is that roundtable discussion where you want a more of an engagement rather than you talking for, say, the whole 15 or 16 minutes as you would do an oral presentation. And then after about 20 or 25 minutes, people will rotate in the tables. So for the say the first 20 minutes, you'll have maybe 4 or 5 people there, and then they'll get up, they'll go to the next presenter, and you'll get a whole new set of people. So you'll do that depending on the size of the audience. You'll probably give your elevator pitch maybe 3 or 4 times, again, depending on the size of the audience that gets there. But I think what you want to do is really make sure that you're just giving the gist of what it is. You can always answer questions and elaborate in the Q&A session about that. But a roundtable discussion really is that. You want a discussion about your research. You're just kind of introducing the topic, and then everybody sort of has that conversation, and then you rotate. Now, let me just say a couple of things about the idea of that research, that the elevator pitch. You know your research better than anybody. So it is incredibly normal to be nervous. But as my favorite musician, Miles Davis, said, if you ain't nervous, you ain't paying attention. So there's something good about being nervous, right? It means you're paying attention. But again, this is a very friendly conference. You're going to find a lot of people that really want to hear what you have to say. Some are going to have comments that are really going to make you think about your research in a different way. That's a good thing, because research isn't something which is dead. By that, I mean you've done it, you finish it, and you go on. It should be something that is ever evolving. So there's never really an end to research. You want to make sure that it's evolving. So make sure that you're listening to what people have to say, what questions, and things like that. The second thing I wanted to mention to you is it is performative. Anytime you're giving a presentation, whether it's a poster or an oral or a roundtable, there is a performative quality to that. So, okay, you're the content expert, you've done your research, you know what you're doing, but you also want to be jazzed about what it is you're talking about. You want it to be infectious. You're excited about it. We accepted your papers because we're excited about it. We want you to share your research. So make sure that you're at least conscious of that performative aspect when you go to present your paper. Now, there are times, and this happened to a student of mine 3 years ago, where you might not have anybody sitting at your table. We're going to try to sort of feel that out. There'll be people, and there'll be a moderator in the room checking time and telling you when to get up and move, or the audience members. But don't take that personal if at one time or another there's no one sitting at your table. Again, this is really dependent upon the amount of people that go to your particular roundtable session at the time. So I presented at a roundtable where I've had nobody for 20 minutes, and then I had 5 people, and then I had nobody. So it's just sometimes the luck of the draw. Don't take it personally like that. Dr. Testo, am I leaving anything out?
I would just add in, no, that's a really good description of how it works. You guys got to be relaxed and comfortable with the whole experience. And like Dr. Martino said, this isn't a killer session. These people are kind of interested in what you're doing, trying to find out what you're doing, trying to maybe give you some ideas and help on how to proceed further with your research. Because it is a living organism. You're not going to stop here. You're going to continue on different routes and avenues that you discover. And when you find those holes in that research, um, one major difference here is typically during our academic panel presentations, everyone has a PowerPoint presentation that they use a projector for, and they've got slides that they can kind of read off of. And so that's a different animal, because you guys aren't going to have that when you do the round table. You're just going to be sitting at a round table and talking. You can bring like maybe like a one-page bullet point handout that if you want to give to the people who are sitting at your round table. And sometimes that might help you present your stuff as well. It's kind of like as you work your way through those bullet points, as somebody would when they do their academic presentations. But so the visuals that you have, you don't have a poster board, you don't have a PowerPoint presentation. You're sitting there talking, so it's a different style. Um, but it should be fun, and everyone generally likes doing it and has a good time at these round tables.
I love doing the roundtables when I go to my own conferences. I think they're fun, and I like them because you do get a sense of you get to talk to people rather than you just presenting your work. And that can be sometimes there are time for questions, sometimes there are not. Let me say a few words about how you should dress, because that's part of that performative quality. When you're presenting, you should probably wear business casual. Okay, so again, business casual means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Google it, and if you want to see, and then hit the images and see what that is. You're not dressing up for a resume. You're not going to a job interview, so you don't want to be that dressed up. But you're also not going out clubbing, so you don't want to look that part as well. You want to look professional because that whole how you present yourself says something about who you are, and how you say it and how you present your research is a direct reflection of your personality. So you want to make sure that you're bringing your A game. Again, listen to people, try to answer their questions if they have them. If you don't know the answer, that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay to say, I really don't know, or I haven't thought about that before, but I'll look into it. There are going to be all kinds of questions that come at you. I have never been to an NRHC or an honors, even at the national level, where somebody has attacked the speaker and really sort of driven them, their points home. Again, as Dr. Tasto also said, this is a very friendly conference. It's very student oriented. So this is your opportunity to put something on your resume, to share your research, and to present in the way that you want to. Have fun with it, as Dr. Tasto said. Dress professionally, and we'll open it up for questions now. But then don't leave after the questions, because I do want to say a few words about New Haven and some of the things that we have in store for you. So if you want to raise your hand and ask a question, you can. If you're shy, you can put something in the chat and we'll try to field those between Dr. Tasto and myself. But if you have questions, now is the moment. Okay, I will look at this question from Stephanie. If we have other materials that go along with the project, would be acceptable to have on the table? Yes, that's a great question. And yes, it is perfectly acceptable to have materials on the table. If you want people to take those materials away with them, make sure you make enough copies. If you don't, make sure that you're clear about that when people come to the table. I would put your name and your email on any materials you bring, whether you want them to take them or they're just yours to keep. Make sure you put your name and your email on them as well. If you have things that people want to take, then it gives you a sort of business card in that sense. So the next question is from Harry. Who moves, the presenters or the audience? Great question, Harry. The audience moves. The presenter will stay at his or her or their table for the entire session. So that's how that works. Other questions or concerns or anything that we can answer? Do you want to read that one, Dr. Tasto?
Is each round 20 to 25 minutes long? And then how many minutes should we do an overview or work? Um, is that the right time? It's 3 sessions of 25 minutes? Is
I
that
think so. I think so.
okay?
Yeah.
I don't have the flyer in front of us right in front of me right now, but so I maybe 10 to 15 minutes tops. I
I would
think
think that's too long, actually, because
I
those are
know
the
because you want
oral
to have more
presentations.
discussion.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm not to contradict you. I think you should do what you're comfortable in, but I think not over 10 minutes.
That's a good point. Yeah. You want to have it's roundtables are more for discussion
Right,
versus the academic panels where you present for 20 minutes and you have
right,
5 minutes for questions
correct,
from the audience.
right. Good question, Madison. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, Carly, you can unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm sorry, I have a quick question. I believe you touched on that already, but they're gonna rotate, right? So what is the time frame? Like, for example, after like 20 or 25 minutes they rotate, do you have like what is it called, a timer like that we can
Yeah.
guide ourselves to
There
make our
will be a
presentation?
moderator, Carla, so you don't have to worry about that, right? So the moderator will tell you at the in that session when it's time for audience members to move to the next table. So we
Okay.
try to make it as easy as possible. So you want to keep to your time, and practicing that is a good idea to make sure you're staying in the time frame that you are. You don't want to monopolize the conversation. You want people and you want feedback. So, but you don't have to worry about that. Somebody will introduce themselves at the beginning of the session, and then that person might have all of the presenters introduce themselves, and then they might start the session. Moderators work in it, they're slightly different sometimes, but that's basically how it goes.
Okay. So I'm sorry, on a question of
No,
time,
sure, go ahead.
do we have like my bad. Like after, do you have maybe an idea how long does it take to rotate to the next table?
It usually takes just a minute or two, because the tables they're fairly close together in all of the rooms, no matter what hotel you're at, the things are there. So it's not long at all. It's, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most for
Okay.
everybody to get settled. People do it, and I've never been where it was not orderly. People tend to know how to move. The moderator will help shepherd people and things like that. But you raise an interesting point, that I forgot to mention. Sometimes because there are maybe 4 or 5 roundtable discussions, it might be hard to hear. So you want to make sure that you're talking clearly and you're projecting where your table can hear you. So if you're a little bit shy or if you're a little bit soft spoken, try to practice that over the next couple of weeks by speaking a little bit more, a little bit louder. Try that projecting.
Yeah. Yeah, it can get loud in those rooms because there's a lot of talking going back and forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good questions. Anyone else? While you're thinking, let me just say a few words about New Haven and how the conference will sort of run. So Thursday night is the first night of the conference. We have a fantastic speaker. He's a Holocaust survivor. He's going to be speaking to you about his experiences in Hungary and what his family went through during the Holocaust. He is now living in New Haven in Connecticut, so he will be there in person. I spoke to him. I had a Zoom meeting with him about a week and a half ago. He's really, really an interesting guy. So that I think will be very interesting. Try to get there and hit that when you can. The students have a lot of activities planned for you as well. Again, don't stay in your hotel room. Part of honors is, we want people to go out and have fun. So the students, and they should have been sending you emails, and I think they're going to be sending you more emails. They have a lot of really cool things planned for you. So make sure that you attend those things that are really fun. On Friday is the City is Text Day. So we have a speaker who will speak for about 25 to 30 minutes. He is a really interesting guy. He's written a book on pizza in New Haven. New Haven is considered the pizza capital of the United States, although people from Brooklyn might object to that. But it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. And then we send you out into the city to go explore the city on your own. We'll give you a couple of hints of things you should see, and we really want you to go in groups of 3 or 4, and ideally. Although this never happens, but I'm going to say it anyway. Ideally, you want to go with 3 or 4 people that you don't know, and you'd want to go out into the city and try to meet new people. This never happens, and I don't even do it. We always sort of congregate with people we know because it's comfortable, but try to push yourself a little bit. Go with somebody you don't know, or do me a favor, if you see somebody that seems to be off on their own, invite them in and have that person join you. And then that night, we have a banquet on Friday night. We have a fantastic speaker Friday night. Saturday is presentation day. We'll have a business lunch on Saturday. So that is your day to shine on Saturday, where all the presentations will be on Saturday. Some will be on Sunday morning. I think we have a few more poster presentations on Sunday. We'll wrap it up and everybody will go home. But
What
New
happened
Haven is,
Saturday night?
yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The
Yes.
gala, the
The
student.
gala. I forgot about. You want to say a few words about that?
All right, so this is an amazing kind of
I'm
dance for
glad you
you
mentioned that.
guys.
I forgot.
Yeah, and all the students kind of go way out. So um, pay attention to the theme for the gala that they have sent. I can't even remember what they're doing actually, but
Yeah.
every year they have an interesting theme and they decorate the ballroom. It's going to be super cool.
Yeah.
There's a photo booth, a DJ, a dance floor. Um, Everyone dresses up really big time for this. So, uh, yeah,
Your student representatives have gone to a lot of work and they put a lot of thought and energy into this. And I know, I mean, every year my students are like, I don't think I'm going to go. They all go and they have a fantastic time.
yeah,
So, if you're tired or if you have homework, put it aside. Just go and do this because you don't get this chance back.
yeah.
So, Dr. Tess was completely right about that. Um, Friday, when we have Citius Text Day, we don't know what the weather is like. It's the Northeast, so you whatever. It could be snowing, it could be raining, it could be beautiful weather. Dress accordingly to the weather, right? Look at a weather app and see what New Haven's going to be a couple of days out. Make sure you wear comfortable shoes on Friday because you'll be doing a lot of walking. We have a couple of other activities planned, service activities, so you'll hear more about that as we get closer to the conference itself. But again, New Haven is a really, really cool place. There's going to be tons for you to do. It's the birthplace of the hamburger. So there's some places you can go and get the burger, but you have to order it the same way that everybody else does. You can't sort of, it isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. So, but you'll get a real hamburger, and make sure you try pizza and listen to the speakers.
Yeah.
Other questions that we can answer before we wrap this up? Anything that you're dying to know? And it doesn't necessarily have to be about the presentation. If you want to know anything about NRHC or honors or what you should expect, this is the moment to ask. Otherwise, Dr. Tasco and I will just give you a lecture on literature and economics. And Dr. Tasco and I go way back to the scene of the crime. So
Karl Marx.
yeah. All right. No questions? Okay, we are going to put this probably tomorrow sometime. It'll be up on our website. So if there is something that you didn't quite hear or something, you should be able to rewatch it and do it then. But again, on behalf of Dr. Testa and myself, thank you all very much for coming. We really look forward to seeing you. If I mean, we're both on the board, so we'll be running around a lot. But if you see us, please come up to us and introduce yourselves and say that you went to this session, and tell us what your research is about. I'm going to try to hit your research on that day, but I may be off somewhere else doing something. I have 11 students of my own that are coming, so we're stretched pretty thin, but make sure you come up and say hi. And most of all, have fun. It's a great conference and meet people. Dr.
Absolutely.
Tessel, do you want to say anything else to wrap it up?
Now you guys are going to have a blast. The students who come here, we have around 400 students and then faculty and staff coming. So we're around probably around 500 probably. There's going to be a lot of people, a lot of commotion, but take the time to enjoy the experience. This is an honor that you have being able to present your research. You should be proud of yourself for being able to do it, and have fun, have fun with your friends, and meet some new people. We're right on Yale's campus. It's kind of historic. It's neat.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
alone is worth walking around just to
Yeah.
explore. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording.